Hey guys, this is Keely from Orbital Events in San Diego, and I'm here today meeting virtually with Chorduroy. Can y'all introduce yourselves for our viewers?
Yeah. So my name's Taylor. I started the band with my roommate Thomas back in early 2019, and also on the call is Andrew. He wants to introduce himself.
Hello, I'm Andrew. I just recently joined. I knew the guys from working at a surf school with them, and yeah, now I'm here playing guitar.
Woo.
Yeah.
Nice. So, Andrew, you play guitar. Taylor, what do you play?
I do rhythm guitar as well as vocals.
Okay, sweet. And who else in the band? Who else is in the band?
Yeah. So unfortunately, they couldn't be with us right now for extenuating circumstances, but also in the band we have this guy named Timo who started the band with me back in 2019. He's my roommate, and he's our bass player. And then our fourth member is our friend Leland, who is a previous drummer for Sitting on Stacy, but we've been friends with him for a long time. So once we needed a drummer, we knew to hit him up. So that's our four piece.
Nice. How would you describe your sound to someone who's just stumbling across this video and hasn't heard you yet?
I would honestly, I've done some thought about this. We sound like a lot of genres kind of mixed into one. As far as our recent release, it kind of almost has like an Incubus vibe, with definitely some influences pulled from plenty of different genres, as long as it's all under the rock and roll umbrella. I don't know. What do you think, Andrew?
Uh, it's a lot of surf rocky, but more on the punk side.
Yeah,
Um,
especially for like our other stuff that hasn't been released.
yeah. Um, yeah, very much just like kind of a party scene kind of music, and we also have some mellower songs as well that are just like super vibey.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's like a good way of
I think so.
describing it. Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Nice. So you mentioned that you had a release not too long ago. Can you
Yeah.
talk a little bit about that and let us know, what you've been working on?
Thanks. Yeah, we'd love to. So, yeah, we've been working in the studio on like a double single release for a little while now, and we finally got the songs to where we wanted them. So September 8th, we ended up dropping them. So they're on Spotify right now. They're two songs called "Standing on the Sun" and "Falling Flying." It's kind of funny, actually. What happened? Our distributor kind of screwed us over, and they ended up switching the titles on Spotify. So if you play falling/flying on Spotify, you're playing what's actually standing on the sun, and vice
Oh,
versa.
wow.
And yeah, we've been having some issues working with a certain distributor, and say less, we're going to be choosing a new distributor for the next round.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that seems frustrating. But I'm sure
Definitely, I really put a lot of work into it. So.
I'm sure you've let your fans know about the switch.
Yeah, and it's really not a big deal too. Like as far as they know, it's just. I mean, we definitely made an announcement, just a small one on Instagram, like, hey, just let you know the songs are switched, but most people like don't know these tracks anyway, so they just assume like, oh, this one's called this one's called that. Like,
Yeah.
not a big deal, really.
yeah.
Well, so who would you say is your guys' biggest music inspiration?
Shoot, that's a tough question.
You
Like,
want like individually or like from a band perspective?
Both. Like, who influenced?
Andrew, you go first.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, I like gravitate more towards the guitar players, obviously. So like
He
Jimi
shreds. By the
Hendrix,
way.
yeah, John Frusciante, Jimmy Page, all those kind of dudes. I listen to a lot of jazz too, which like I don't know. I'm trying to incorporate into our sound, but also like not trying to force it.
Mhm.
Um, but as a band, we're still. I don't think we're trying to emulate anyone yet. I think we're. I wouldn't. I can like pinpoint the sound. I think we're all just bringing our own influences, and
That's good.
yeah.
Yeah, it's good to be original, and yeah.
Yeah.
So, but if you could like interview any band or musician, like who would you pick or to hang out with? Like anyone at all? Living
Dead
or
or alive?
both.
Okay. Jimi Hendrix, George Harrison.
That's a good one.
Mac DeMarco seems kind of fun. I have
I
a
was
friend.
say Mac DeMarco too. Yeah.
I have a friend that like actually met Mac DeMarco, and she said he was kind of like weird, but he seems like a ball of fun. I don't know.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I would. Yeah, I'd have to. I think it'd be great to meet Jimi Hendrix too. I would add in as far as like dead musicians, just with the risk of sounding like cliche, I would say like Kurt Cobain, just because of how influential he was to
yeah.
rock music in general in that time period, and I feel like he was also a really interesting character. And then yeah, I was thinking Mac DeMarco for like current musicians, or there's a lot of other indie artists. I would like to interview the Strokes and see
Oh
if
yeah,
they,
I love
their
Julie
just because I want to hear their whole like life story of the band and everything. That'd be cool. They need a rockumentary.
Yeah, I know. They're like
I'd watch that.
really missing out. You know, what'd be fun is Jack Black. He seems like
Oh, that would be great.
that would be so fun.
Yeah. We all love Tenacious D.
Yeah.
So, do you guys have like a story back when we were doing shows? Do you have like a favorite show that you've ever played?
Yeah. Well, we have like a couple for sure. We played a lot of shows throughout 2019. It all culminated in early 2020. We played 2 shows at the Chez Cafe that ended up selling out. So that was obviously like super fun to get like kind of into a more established venue locally. That was just really fun to play. Like the crowd was super engaged, and we got just so much positive feedback. So it kind of sucked that everything happened when it did, because we felt like we were like peaking as far as like playing live and stuff, and like we're just going on the up and up, and then whew. But other than that, we've had so many fun just like house shows mainly in the college SDSU area, because myself and the bass player Thomas, I just graduated from SDSU, but we've both been like going to state for a while now, and so we got to play a bunch of house shows locally that ended up being really fun.
Nice. Yeah, I was going to ask you, what have been your challenges so far in keeping up with music since shows are out of the picture now?
Well, I'm mainly trying to let our audience know that we still exist, because we don't, like a lot of times, a lot of our Instagram content last year would have been just, since we're doing consistent shows, it would be like, hey, new show coming up, like we got this going down, so we'd build excitement and engagement around that. But definitely we've shifted more now to trying to focus on getting music out there. Like we've definitely been delayed on getting our first release out on Spotify. We should have done that a long time ago, but it's out now, and we're going to be trying to put like most of our effort into that. We also are playing a pretty big live stream festival that's going to be coming out sometime in October. So that's really exciting. We got some pretty big bands on there. We just somehow lucked into an arrangement with some like people we knew, and got us on the bill. But headlining is Levitation Room, if you've heard of them. So we're pretty hyped on that. Hopefully that'll be a lot of exposure for us. And
Nice.
just working on new singles and trying to keep our audience engaged and let them know we exist. We're still doing things.
Nice. Can you take us through briefly your creative process as a band, like how you come up with songs or just jamming, like how it usually works for you guys?
Yeah, I can take this one too. generally, like for all the songs we've come up with, a lot of them, the starting foundations of them usually occur in like one of a few ways. Either we'll just be having a free jam and come up with some like sort of combo riff that we like, and then we'll start like, oh, that sounds really cool. Let's like further like look into that, and maybe we'll get just a little iPhone recording during practice, and then go from there and just like continue to work on it as a band. Or it'll be one of the band members will come up with a riff or something in their own time, which then they'll take that into band practice and show the rest of the guys. And if everyone likes it and groove to it, then we'll do the same thing from that point and coming up with writing the rest of the song. And usually the last thing that comes into play is lyrics. So I usually write all the lyrics, a lot of times with help from other bandmates, but I personally like to, I found I can write lyrics a lot easier when I have the music already ready, and so I can catch the vibe musically in it, and then that helps me figure out what to say and the proper melodies and all that.
Nice. Yeah. So, do you have any announcements you'd like to make before we sign off?
The only thing we got is so that music festival is called Better Days Music Fest. It's going to be a for charity live stream. It's all going to all the proceeds. We're just going to be asking for donations, and the proceeds are going to this charity organization called Beam, which is basically goes to support mental and emotional health of Black and minority communities throughout mainly Southern California. So we're excited to be able to do our part to contribute back to all of that. And there's going to be so many cool bands from the SoCal scene that are going to be playing. I think there's about 10 in total. So yeah, we'll be seeing pretty soon on Instagram the announcements of all that. So this is technically the first time any of that's been discussed. No one else has posted anything, or the flyers haven't been released, so you're hearing it first.
Wow, cool. Feel lucky. So where can we find your music, and where can we connect with you on social media?
Thanks for asking. We're on all streaming platforms, actually except for SoundCloud right now. Working on that, but yeah, Spotify, Apple Music, Bandcamp, all of those. And then our social media, we mainly operate through Instagram, which is just going to be at Chorduroy Band.
All right, sweet. All right, so you heard them. If you want to hear some of Chorduroy's music, you can find them on Spotify or any of the streaming platforms, and you can also reach out to them via Instagram. I'll put the links in the description. Thanks for tuning in. Keep on listening, and don't forget to subscribe. We'll see you next time.
Woo! Thanks so much.
Thank you.